Next up for us, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, 62 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy in Philadelphia for Cowboys Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field. And this spot here, we already heard from Sammy Culmer on the Dallas Cowboys. And I immediately have vividness bias, immediately, of the Cowboys going into Philadelphia and getting hurt. Immediately want to bet Philadelphia. Last week, I made a statement, and it was probably ignorant, but I said that I gave the Eagles third down defense and red zone defense, and I was like, I don't believe these numbers. The Eagles are a much better defense than these numbers indicate. And then you'll hear people say things like, numbers don't lie, people lie, numbers don't lie, and all that stuff. And it was ignorant. The numbers are there for a reason. Now, I know that the Eagles have battled with injuries, but they're there for a reason. And I don't know what to do with them, because I think I wanted the Eagles so bad the last 48 hours. I feel like I've seen this show before, and in this show, the Eagles step up at home and beat the Cowboys. But it was so public, and I just wanted to sit and talk it out with you guys. I didn't want to have all these public spots, and that was when I was looking at my card, other than the Giants. We'll see what that happens there. But I was, I wanted the Bengals and I wanted the Eagles, and I was like, am I just really going to sit here? And so I just wanted to talk it out before we do it. But I think that the Eagles are probably should be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. But I can't understand or quantify the defensive stats when I look at them. The Eagles open up -3 at -106. They're now -111. You add to the knee injury from Jalen Hurts and the knowledge that this is the game before their bye week. And then that, again, puts me back. Because if the Cowboys beat the Eagles here, I would not sit here thinking that the Eagles aren't going to win the division and the Eagles aren't going to roll to the NFC final. I would still believe all those things. So I don't know what to do with this goddamn football game. So now the Eagles are at -111. They got up to -115, but I was looking at the Eagles when they were -3 at +101. This opened at 3.5, so there'd been a half-point move towards the Cowboys. If we look at the two games that the teams just played, you know that you're going to be able to buy lower on Philadelphia and sell higher on the Cowboys. From a total perspective here, this is sitting at 46 and 46.5 at Pinnacle. This opened up at 46.5. There's been an 11-cent move towards the under, and there hadn't been. The Cowboys come in off an impressive, dominant 43-20 home win over the Rams. Their 11th straight win. Prescott looked very good, 25 of 31 for 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. But is the Rams defense now the Rams defense that we thought they were going to be before the year started? Should we put too much into this? CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott are best friends. Great. CeeDee Lamb caught 12 passes for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. Do we trust Dak Prescott in the most important games to deliver? No. Brandon Cooks, Jake Ferguson had the other touchdown. So there's a Brandon Cooks sighting. Tony Pollard is not going to have an easy time being the RB1. He excelled when somebody could take pressure off him, and he didn't have to run in between the hash marks. They went 6 of 12 on third down. They're third in the league, converting 48% of third downs. The only spot they struggle in is the red zone. Why? Because of Dak Prescott. They're 29th in the league. They score touchdowns on just 40.7% of red zone opportunities. You need to succeed in the red zone offensively if you're going to win the most important games. Defensively, the secondary and pass rush completely shut down the Rams. What can you say about what this squad has done without Trayvon Diggs? It's extremely impressive. Deron Bland has returned 3 interceptions for touchdowns, and he says all the right things. He's, a 5th-round pick out of Fresno State. Like, this guy is not. He says everything you want an up-and-coming, burgeoning star to say. I really like him. Micah Parsons was a monster all game long, an issue. They held Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and Tutu Atwell to combine for 9 catches for 85 yards. Unbelievable. And then Brandon Aubrey, everybody's going to be looking for soccer players now. He's at 18 consecutive makes to start his career. if you know your kicker is going to get it through the uprights, it just adds confidence. Tyron Smith, inactive, he hurt his neck during practice. He remains questionable this week. Eagles coming off a 38-31 comeback victory at Washington. Their offense is so good. Even when you know Jalen Hurts can't run, he still throws 4 touchdown passes, 319 yards. He before the kneel downs, he had rushed for 7 yards on 2 attempts. That's the fewest since December 26, 2021. A.J. Brown, look, I know Tyreek Hill's getting all the love, but A.J. Brown's the best receiver in the NFL for my money. Like, he's just big, tough, fast. He can do everything you could ever imagine. But Tyreek Hill's unbelievably explosive. But 8 passes, again, he catches for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. The first player in NFL history with 125-plus yards receiving 6 straight games. Devonta Smith got 7 for 99. They were 8 of 13 on third down. They're the best third down team in the league, the best. The defense didn't look good. The Commanders put up 472 yards. Look, the Eagles are 25th in the league, allowing opponents to convert 43% of third downs. The Commanders went 2-2 in the red zone. The Eagles are 26th in the league, allowing opponents to score 65.2% of red zone drives. They couldn't dial up enough pressure on Howell. Last year, they had 70 sacks. They had 1 last week. They have 25 after 8 games. Reed Blankenship had an interception. Bradley Roby missed a second consecutive game. Jalen Carter left in the third quarter with a back injury. 5 years ago or 10 years ago, let's say, I'd already be on the Eagles because of, I know Dallas goes into Philadelphia and they fucking lose. But I've been hesitant to move on this one. Take it away for us here, Troy. I hate that Hurts' knee is injured. I hate that Hurts needs the bye so much. And the whole Eagles team needs the bye. Maybe we want the Eagles to lose to the Cowboys because then we'll get a better number for them to win the division and a better number for them to win the conference. Take it away, Troy. This is a huge, huge, fun game. 4:25 p.m. Eastern, Lincoln Financial Field, Cowboys, Eagles.
That's a good question. What would this line be if we were completely healthy, no Hurts injury, some of the pieces on the defensive side, offensive side, everything? If it was completely healthy, what would this line be? Probably 3.5. It probably would have opened at 3.5. I'm not sure. That's a good question, though. Something I'll definitely be thinking about here in the near future. But I think that if the Cowboys can't force turnovers, let alone score with their defense, I don't think it's a completely different team. I can't see them winning the game if they're not forcing turnovers and or scoring with their defense. I think the Eagles will be able to run the ball with some continuity, keeping the down and distance reasonable enough where the Cowboys defense is in limbo. And it takes away their superpower with that short down and distance. If the pass rush can't put their hair back and just get after the QB, this defense is certainly not the same. This is the Eagles' last week before their bye. We know that that's been favorable for home teams in the past. They're at the house where they're very strong. I want the better coach, the better QB, and the better overall team. I made too much money with this Eagles team to hop off the train now. And the Eagles have been dominant at home the past few years. 10-5 ATS, 3-0 ATS is a favorite of a field goal or less. In those games, 3-0, they won by 18. They won by at least 14 in all 3 occasions. And on the other side, Cowboys are 1-3 ATS as road dogs the past 2 years. And the only cover came with Cooper Rush at quarterback versus the fraudulent Rams of last year where they were way overrated. This is a prove-it-to-me spot. The Cowboys are going to have to prove it to me before I back or would even consider backing them in this spot. I like the Eagles -3. I'll probably have it on a money line parlay as well.
Have you moved on the Eagles yet?
Yes, sir. I got Eagles -3, -110, I believe. Yeah, -110.
I want to hear, can you guys in the chat let us know what you're doing on this football game? I wanted to talk about the Giants game just because I had come up with my plan and my script and whatever, but this is the one that I've been staring at nonstop. I want the Eagles so bad, but just something just doesn't, I don't know, the week before the bye and Hurts his knee's not good. And Micah Parsons going to be all over that. Sky Dragon says his number came Philly -3.5. He might. He prefers the under. Markel's going to be on the Cowboys. Al Cervic's going to be on Philly. B Jizzle G is going to, I think he's going to be on the Cowboys. No, I don't know. I don't know what the right. It's tough to you can't hear the inflection. All right. I want the Eagles. I honestly don't know if I get there. And would I be that upset? Ron Carver on Philly money. Would I be that upset if the Cowboys won this game? I don't think I would. I think it would open up so many great gambling opportunities for us on the Eagles. So B Jizzle, okay, he's on the Cowboys money line. J Dub says Birds crowd will be nuts, and under makes sense. They can't run on Philly, says Rance. Oh, Markel leaning to the under. Okay, we have Troy on the Eagles -3 at -110, and we have at this point 74% of tickets and 80% of the cash on the Eagles, and this immediately went from 3.5 to 3. I don't mind staying off of this spot. I really don't mind. Birdie saying he was saying the last year that I might have gone said last year. He said I don't think you last year bet 3 public spots. You might bet that many this weekend. It's tough. This is a tough card and a tough week. Let's move on